All right, hello everyone. So let's take a look at the market. Today is the 20th and it's Wednesday. Now, yesterday we talked about this, so this all worked out fine. And I did a few videos yesterday. I think I did 2 extra videos, just short videos so you can understand where I'm coming from when I'm talking about a target and the time that we're going to get there. Okay. And this was like exactly at the hours I talked about. We came to the target and it hit take profit. And as you can see, that was 2045 based on the PST level, which was right here on the PST yesterday. Okay, so we went into that 2045 yesterday. And I did say we're in this zone. I'm going to get rid of this just so that we can see the chart a bit better. Okay. Now up here, we still have room to go up. So the day closed higher. So coming back down a little bit in order to go up is looking like a good option for us. And that level is looking like around 2032, which is down here. So if we get into this zone, all right, this zone, we're okay to go long. Yesterday I talked about here, which is exactly when the Astro hours happened. So we can now get rid of this, okay? And we can just say, well, this is the zone. All right, so I'm just going to take this zone here and just push it out, as you can see, okay? There. All right, so I want to get back in order to go up to a higher level. Why do I say that? Because on the daily, now we've got this PST zone taken care of. We have an up move. We can go further up into this direction and into those 76 zones, right? So we can come up all the way up there actually. So following this up again, it's not a bad idea. And on the weekly as well, you can see I talked about that before in the beginning of the week, which is 2,113, all right? And this is what we have here. So that could still happen, and that will be the place of a good buy kiss. So going long, as the trend is also going up, you can see our bias here. The market closed higher than the day before. We're on a Wednesday, and so on. All right, so going back up for another day or two for us is on the cards until next week. All right, and this is what we want to use. Now you can see the market pretty much swept all the stops, went down and then went up again. So if we come down a little bit today, retrace a little bit, that will be nice. I also want to put some emphasis on the good buy kiss at 49, which is 2011. And sometimes the market has a tendency to surprise us. Okay. Now I'm not sure if it'll come to 2011, but I'm going to keep it on the cards because if it does come down here, I know I'm going to be a buy. All right. It's a bit far down. What can you do? Sometimes the market spikes down and so on. Now today, this was an Astro hour. Obviously, this is the hours when I'm not looking at the market, but I do have the hours. So that's basically here. This is what's going on. All right. So if the market does dip back down a little bit more, that would be nice. This zone is a good zone for the market to maybe come down until the New York session. Okay. So, but the trend is up. So what we want to do is wait for a pullback to go up. Okay. I'm now going to I'm going to get rid of this purple zone now because that's already done. We're out of that game. Okay, this is over, right? So we've got other targets up there. The 2056 and 63 are no longer here. They're not on there either. And on the monthly, that's 64 against 2,109. So what I'm going to do is take this into 2,109 and 2,106, 109, and 2,113 is a target up there. And I'm going to take these off because they're done. Okay, this 2,063 is no longer on the cards for us because it's no longer on our PST level. Right? So I want to make sure we're all crystal clear. All right, so this zone also can be a good place to push up. And also you want to wait for the New York session too if you're trading in the US. Okay, so any pullback into those astro hours, the daily down here is preferable. We should go back up as well. SP 500, this is also a nice push up, as you can see. If you looked into your financial astrology hours yesterday, you should have been okay. Now with the indices, as you know, I'm all for waiting. All right, but if you want to keep trading it, you can, obviously, with the astro hours. Why? The trend is still going up. So as long as the trend is still going up, not a problem. And we talk about the rally as well, and this is still a zone. So the market's got room to go up. I can now get rid of this because that target is done. Next is up here, and that's it. Okay, so anyone who wants to buy, you can still go long. You got that 4868 level on the monthly. Okay, 4868. So if you want to put that on your cards, you can on the monthly. All right, 4868. There you go. If you want to buy this, once again, you need to wait for a retracement into the astro hours down here. As far as I'm concerned, with the indices, I'm not going to deal with at the moment, despite the fact that it is going up. I haven't checked out SP 500, Dow Jones, or NASDAQ on an individual basis. So basically, we're just going to sit tight on these. I'm going to trade gold or the euro dollar and let the indices go. But if you want to go up on the pullbacks, you're welcome to do so. Just make sure you measure your weekly here like I've done here. All right, so that's going to be a target there. And what I've just put here as well, 4,868. 4,868. It's going to be up there as well. Okay, there you go. All right, and that's basically it. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Here we are on the daily. Now this zone's a sell zone, as you can see. So selling at 66.67, 10.37, 10.21. So our zone is going to be, okay, this was the zone yesterday, as you can see. I said you could buy around here. If you bought here, you should have been okay. If you bought here on the retracement, you should have been okay. And it came to the targets beautifully there. Now, on the PST, that's the good buy. So 66.67 is a target. It's also a sell level. So 10.21 to 37. 10.37. 21. I think I got that right. Once again, just double check. 10.37, 10.21. Okay, so that's that. Now this zone is now going to become a target. 10.21 here. On the weekly, let's take a look. That's 62, 10.47, which should be on the cards as well. 10.47. As you can see, they're pretty close. Up here, 37.47. That's all good. All right, and that's your daily pivot for today. Going long can be at the daily pivot. This is a good place where the market bounced up. Not a problem. You can wait for that. And other than that, there's room here as well. Let's take a look on the daily if there's anything. The high of that is going to be 31. So coming down here, let's do this. There. So here on the daily and here as well, they're good places to be going long into those targets. Okay, so that's an impulse wave. The market coming back a little bit, going sideways to push back up is fine. Okay, and that's how it is. If you like, I also demonstrated yesterday, some of you using the 80 a.m. strategy. Accordingly, what you can do is go to the 1 hour chart, and at those hours, there's a specific price on the PST. You can actually do it on the 15-minute as well. You can do it on any time frame, but you got to be specific as to where you are. So let me come to the 1 hour chart and show you that. By the way, this is applicable to anything that you're trading on the MetaTrader 4. Okay, so this is the 1 hour chart. Now you can see, look here, this is the first target. All right, so obviously no selling around here for us. What you want to do is wait for Astro hours to happen. The first one's going to be what, 7:45 here, 7:45 here. All right, this is the hourly chart, by the way. So 7 here. I'm just going to turn that into 7:45. So when we go back to the 15-minute chart, it'll be on the 7:45. Okay, so the market dipping down is nice. It's broken that level, so this is the first place. It's still good. It's still good, but you see, there's a bit of a gap here, and this is the place where we want to close up. Okay, so the market coming down a little bit more is okay. The impulse wave is here, so if you put your Fibonacci there as well, you'll be able to see that these levels, the lower levels, like 1.0940, 33, they're better to get into that trade. Okay, and that's basically it. As long as you match it to your Astro hours, you can take that trade because the direction is kind of up there still. So this is a good retracement after the impulse wave. So this is now an inner impulse wave. A bit of a pullback to go higher is on the card. So, but when we get up there, you have to be careful, like I say, because that's where both of them are. Okay, those are your goodbye kiss and your resistance. So don't muck around here. On the weekly as well, that level there. So those levels are going to be tough resistance levels. So if the market does go up, they just take your profit and stop mucking around. Okay. Worst case scenario, if it breaks everything, there's 1133, but that's just pretty high up there, as you can see. We'll see how things pan out. Okay, but going up here looks logical. Let's take a look at Dow Jones, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. As with SP 500 and NASDAQ, Dow Jones as well, they're both pushing upwards. So probably until the first week, we'll end up somewhere high, and then maybe we'll get a reversal. All right, we'll see how things pan out accordingly. But this is still upgoing and making all-time highs. So you can see we've got targets up there. We've got target up there, so this could get up there. If it does get up here, like it's going to be just like magic because like PST working, and that 65 level is a price of 39,461. Okay, and that's crazy. Okay, but before that we've got 38,920 on the weekly. It's way up going there, as you can see. It's still doable, not a problem, and the market going up is okay. So what are we going to do with this? If you want to keep going long as the market is going up, as you can see, the only way to do so is on a pullback or when the price is right. Like yesterday, as you can see, the price was right at the Astro hours down here. Okay, when the market was like what, around here something, I think yesterday. That's correct. 706 here and 715 on the platform. 8:15 my time, and it was 7:15 here. Okay, there. So the market did its job nicely, and just started going up. Pulled back again at the Astro hour and going up. Okay, so it's all good. And that's it. Any pullback again to the daily downside into this zone, just mark these levels. Okay. Any pullback into these levels, closing gaps there, that's the daily pivot, and this green zone here at Astro hours, you can, I'm thinking, still go up with this. Okay. NASDAQ, I mean, I'm not trading indices until this is all over. Okay, why risk it? The first resistance on the NASDAQ is 84,16,916. So we can put 16,916 up here. 16,916. Okay, so this is the first target there. On the weekly, we've got the LCL1, 17,275. So we can put that up there. 17. Let's see if we can get in there. 17,275. All right, so that's another level there on the weekly, which is that blue line there on the PST. Okay, your LCL1 line there, 17,275. So those zones are still doable. Okay, and on the monthly, let's see if we've got anything. On the monthly, that is just huge up there, as you can see. And that's 18,550. We'll cross that bridge if we cross those levels that I talked about, okay, that I put here, there, and here. So if you want to go long again, tricky situation, just need to wait for a pullback. In New York, there's bound to be a pullback, like there always is. Usually if it's going to go up, they like to push it down first. So if it is going to go up, pushing it down first to go up is okay. Bitcoin, I said, this is a pennant. We've got a breakout, so going up is not a bad idea. If you went up, this was the zone. I talked about that. And as you can see, this is 1750 on the platform. And yesterday we had 940, which is 840, which is on this bar here. All right, so it's coming into our zone, market buying up and just going up. You can see once it starts to push up from here, it doesn't break the Astro hour low. Sometimes it does, but more often than not, it shouldn't, especially depending on the aspect. So seeing the market turn around here is good. And that's basically it. Okay. Okay, so with this, you can still go up. So any pullback into an Astro hour, you can still go up from the opening and so on. Where do you want to go up to? You want to go up to the 65, 68 zone, which we talked about yesterday. 44,589, 43,959. Okay, so going up into that zone is okay. If it breaks above that, you've got another target, 73.74. That's going to give you 45,997, 46,656. You can then work on those targets if it breaks out. Okay. On the daily levels, if I'm hitting a target, I like to take profit, but you can always leave a part of the position open and just push up. Okay, and that's that.